Look at these faces. Really look. These are not numbers on a chart, not headlines that flash by and disappear. These are daughters, sisters, mothers, friends. In Jamaica, someone still sets a plate for them at dinner. Someone keeps their room just as they left it. Someone still sleeps with their phone in hand, hoping for a call that never comes. All across Jamaica, women and girls go missing. Some are found, some come home, but too many simply vanish and never walk back through the door. Tonight, we are not just telling stories, we are refusing to forget. This is episode 1, Vanished Without a Trace. If you look around Jamaica on any ordinary day, you see life moving fast. Children in uniform, women heading to work, girls laughing on a corner. Now imagine pressing pause, freeze that one girl stepping through the gate, that woman walking to the bus stop, that teenager leaving school with her friends. Now imagine one of them does not make it home. No scream that anyone hears, no warning, no goodbye, just a silence where a voice used to be. Across this country, in towns and districts all over Jamaica, families have lived that silence. They've walked into bedrooms that are too tidy, opened wardrobes where nothing is missing except the person who wore the clothes. They have called phones that ring and go to voicemail. Some cases make the news for a moment. A poster goes up. A picture is shared. For a few days, everyone is looking. Then the world looks somewhere else. But the reality is this. Missing women and girls in Jamaica are not rare stories. They happen so often that we see the posters, hear the voice notes, read the messages, and sometimes we scroll past. Not because we do not care, but because we are tired, afraid, numb. This episode is a pause button, a chance to stop, look, and listen. Imagine a Jamaican girl, not a headline, a person. She wakes up before dawn for school, uniform pressed, shoes polished, bag packed from the night before. Her mother calls out, "Don't be late," like every morning. Her father or auntie or grandmother tells her to be careful on the road. It is an ordinary day in Jamaica. Nothing about that morning feels like the last time. She leaves home, maybe she catches a taxi, maybe she walks down a quiet lane, or pushes through crowds in a busy town. At some point along that journey, her path goes dark. She does not come home that evening. At first, people make excuses. Maybe she stayed by a friend. Maybe her phone died. Maybe there was traffic. Then night comes. No call. No message. No sign. The house, usually noisy, feels like a church at midnight. Every sound is too loud. Every minute too long. Someone checks her room, expecting to see her. The bed is made. The pillow is untouched. Her school shoes are not in their usual place. The phone calls begin. Friends, teachers, relatives. Have you seen her? When last did you talk to her? Did she say where she was going? Faces tighten. Voices drop. The worry moves from the stomach to the chest. Eventually, someone makes the decision. We have to call the police. From that moment, the family steps into a new world. A world of statements and questions, of describing the same last moments over and over, of trying to remember every small detail in case one of them brings her back. What was she wearing? Did she seem upset? Did she talk about running away? Did anyone new start messaging her? Questions, 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 but no answer where she is. Days pass. Maybe there are searches, posters, a story in the Jamaican news. People share her face online. They write, "Please, if you see her, call this number. After a week, the likes and shares slow down. Other stories take over. But in her house, nothing has slowed. The fear is loud. The silence is louder. There is a plate on the table that nobody moves. A bed nobody wants to sleep in. A name that hangs in the air, refusing to fade. Now imagine a Jamaican woman, not a child, grown, independent, responsible. Maybe she is a mother. Maybe she is the main breadwinner. Maybe she is the one everyone calls when they're in trouble. She gets up, makes breakfast, sends messages, checks on her family, on her way to work, to the market, to town. It is a normal day, bills to pay, errands to run, no time to think about danger. She leaves home and steps into the usual rush. Buses, cars, voices, the ordinary noise of life. At some point, somewhere between leaving and returning, her trail ends. No one sees her walk through the gate that evening. Her phone goes unanswered. Her bed is empty. Her job calls to ask why she did not show up. For an adult woman in Jamaica, people sometimes take longer to believe something is wrong. They say, maybe she just needed a break. Maybe she went to stay with a friend. She will come back when she is ready. But the people who know her best feel it in their bones. They know her routine, her habits, her heart, and they know that something is terribly wrong. Hours turn into days. Clothes stay hanging where she left them. Work clothes, church clothes, messages pile up in her phone that she is not reading. Birthdays pass, holidays pass. Some who promised to check up stop calling. Life goes on in Jamaica, but a piece of it has been ripped out and never replaced. When a person first goes missing, we react. We share the picture. We whisper the story. We watch the news. We say, Lord, have mercy. We hug our own children a little tighter. But slowly, other stories come, other headlines, other things to be afraid of. The missing girl's photo moves down the timeline. The missing woman's name stops trending. The posters tear in the rain. The ink fades in the sun. New flyers cover the old ones on walls and light poles across Jamaica. People passing by stop reading. This is how a person disappears twice. First from the place where they stood, then from the mind of the public. For the family, the nightmare is stuck on repeat. Every knock at the gate could be her. Every unknown number on the phone could be the call. They live in a kind of prison, locked between hope and grief, afraid to believe the worst, afraid to hope too much. There is a name they cannot stop saying, a face they cannot stop seeing, a question that never leaves them. Where is she? We may not have the power to answer that question, but we have the power to refuse to ignore it. We, as a people in Jamaica and beyond, decide how long we will care. We decide whether a missing person is just a headline or a human being whose absence still matters. Every share, every poster, every conversation, every moment spent looking at a face instead of scrolling past it is an act of respect, an act of love for someone we may never meet. You might not know their names, you might never have walked on their street or sat in their church or stood beside them in a taxi line in Jamaica. But look at their faces. Every smile froze at a particular age. Every photograph is a doorway that never opened to the next chapter. A new job, a graduation, a wedding, a child, a life that should have unfolded and never did. For their families, the story is not over. They still dream about them. They still set out plates, light candles, say prayers, and hold on to their belongings just to feel close. We make a simple promise. We will not pretend these Jamaican women and girls never existed. We will not throw away their names. This series is not a police investigation. We are not here to point fingers or call names. We are here to remember, to ask questions, to care. In the episodes to come, we will travel parish by parish across Jamaica, age by age and story by story, to understand the patterns and the pain. We will look at how entire communities can lose their daughters without realizing how often it is happening. We will hear about the weight that families carry when someone disappears and never returns. We will explore the risks and dangers that make people vulnerable, while remembering that every life we mention belongs to a real human being. This is just the beginning. When you see a missing person poster in Jamaica, remember this. Behind that paper is a home waiting for footsteps at the gate, a bed waiting for a body to lie down, a name waiting to be answered. If you know anything about any missing person, anywhere, speak to the authorities, make the call, send the message. Your voice could be the light in somebody's darkness. For every Jamaican woman and girl who walked out the door and never walked back in, we see you. We will say your names. We will not look away.